Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Words of Wellness. I'm your host, Yassir Al-Manawi, a clinical therapist. We are going to be talking about knowledge. Why we need to talk about knowledge? We need to talk about knowledge because without knowledge, we are worth, in my opinion, nothing. A big zero. So we have to have knowledge. So when we're talking about knowledge, we need to divide knowledge first into different types of knowledge. You have spiritual knowledge, which is religion and spirituality. You have knowledge, which educational, which we gain in school. You have knowledge political. You have a lot of different types of knowledge. And we have to seek it at all times. So let me read the verse from the Quran first, and then we'll get back to our discussion about seeking knowledge. Surah Taha, ayah number 114. O my Master, help me seek knowledge. It is actually a prayer to God to assist us and to help us to seek knowledge. Why do we need to seek knowledge? A lot of times, especially when we're dealing with teenage years, or maybe even before teenage years, at the age of 10, 11, and then you go on the 12, and then the 13, 14, 15, and you're going on. People don't want to, they're resistant. They don't want to seek knowledge. Why? It's a lot of work. There are a lot of people that are very comfortable with themselves the way they are. There are a lot of people that say, well, ignorance is a bless. Ignorance is not a bless. Ignorance is a very dangerous habit. It's a very dangerous phenomenon. The only way to advance in life is through knowledge. And as a human being, I am urged to seek the knowledge, to know what's surrounding me, to know all the information that I can know. And God has provided me with the tools to do that. And the main tool that He has provided me with is what? My brain. The ability to know and the ability to discriminate between right and wrong, good and bad. That's my brain. And guess what? A lot of times when I'm sitting with a teenager in a therapeutic session, I tell them, well, one day you will be asked about this brain. What did you do with it? And they just said, well, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't do anything with it. So it's almost like God has given you a gift and you're not using it. You're not utilizing it. If I give you a gift and you don't use it, is that offensive to me or not? They say, yeah, it is offensive. If I give you a gift and you misuse it and you do the wrong thing with it, is that offensive or not? To another human being? Yes, it is. So just imagine if God, your Creator, is giving you a gift and you don't use it or misuse it and utilize it in the wrong area, what does that say? And right there and then they say, wow, I can't do that. So now the point is we need to get from this, I call it brain laziness. We need to get from this point to another point. I need to activate my brain. I need to start utilizing my brain in the right direction. The first thing that we do is that people usually come in a setting and they say, well, my memory is bad. I can't remember things. And you know what's ironic is that these are people who are age 16, 17, 18, and they come and they say, my memory is bad. And then when I ask about their memory and we do a little bit of tests about memory, memory is intact. Short-term memory and long-term memory is intact. There is nothing wrong with it. So what is it? It's a state of laziness. laziness for the brain. And again, that's my opinion and it's my expression, because if somebody becomes lazy, it engulfs their lives. It engulfs their brain too. If you put it to sleep, it's just like a muscle. When you don't use it, it shrinks, it shrivels. When you start using it, it comes back to life. So the same thing with the brain. There are certain exercises that we need to do. One of these exercises is reading. And reading, I want to go back to the reading issue and the knowledge issue. Not only the spiritual and religious material. You need to read about everything in life, including the spiritual and the religious and all of this. But everything else, you need to read about it. By reading, what do? You activate different parts of your brain. If you haven't been using it, you will start using it. There are other exercises that you do for memory. For instance, when somebody comes to me and tell me, oh, I have a bad memory, I tell them, okay, do you go to college? They say yes. I tell them, okay, before you go to college, if you have a deck of cards, you just take a card in the morning, look at it, and put it back. And I want you to remember that number or that card all day. When you come back, see if you remember it or not. And they do remember it. So the issue is not the memory. Knowledge, again, it begins with self-knowledge, it begins with family knowledge, it begins with society knowledge, my society, and it begins with worldly knowledge. I have to know what is going on with the world. When somebody has this knowledge, they gain confidence in themselves, they gain social confidence as well. When somebody comes for social training or socialization skills training, they need to know about current issues. What is current issues? Issues that pertains to everything to my society in the current days. Why? Because we want this person to be able to converse, to be able to communicate, to be able to talk with the group, with the society, with the friends that it's his community. That's what we need to do. So that's why knowledge is very important. Knowledge also increases self-confidence, as we said. But with knowledge, you have to be careful, because it's a sword with two edges. It could be used for you or it could be used against you. What does that mean, it could be used for you or against you? For instance, if I have knowledge and I'm not using it, I'm just, being ignorant about everything, and I do have the knowledge, then it will be used against me. Why? Because I did not apply the knowledge for my good. I did not apply the knowledge for the society's good. So I need to get the knowledge and to give it to somebody else. That's why we talked about that before. Reciprocate. Get the knowledge and share it with other people. Use it, and use it first with yourself. Apply it to yourself and to your daily life. Again, I hope this is knowledgeable for you, and I will see you in another episode of Words of Wellness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.